happening?
We're in the middle of Dominion match right now with
We could have started the stream an hour ago when we wanted to, but we got so caught up in gameplay that we decided to just not pay attention.
But we're here, so it's gonna be fun. Thanks
Yeah.
for
So
joining
there are
us.
two on B, two on B.
So now we have pretty exciting game with here on my left, Damien, our online game director.
Hello.
And this is Roman, if you want to pronounce it correctly, or Roman, if you're an American.
Going back on C.
What?
Excuse me, I'm killing people.
Game director, busy killing people. So we have a match of 4v4 going on right now in our closed beta, which is happening. This is not a staged thing. They are in the beta right now with lots and lots of you, actually, which is pretty cool.
My microphone was muted, Eric. So let me
muted.
introduce Damien again, our online game director here.
I asked them to mute you.
I know, you always do that.
So speaking of which, I guess I'll introduce you.
Why not? Why
Yeah,
not?
They need to know who we are. So this is the former, disgraced former pitcher for the 1985 Montreal Expos, current Acid House DJ, Space Elephant, and then go to it. I call him the GOAT.
And sitting right next to me here, former Boston Celtics veteran,
Oh my god,
Mr. Eric Pope.
it was great.
Also karaoke alumni.
Working with Larry Bird was a highlight of my career.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining us, guys.
So yeah, we thought we would start the stream in the thick of battle, which actually, if you're looking at the scores right now, is pretty thick. They're close. Blue team is slightly ahead at the moment. Blue team being Roman's team and the guys, Roman and the guys behind him. Orange team, Damien, the guys behind him. Oh yeah.
And the team is very focused. I don't hear a lot of trash
Oh,
talk.
it's-
They are
just died.
pretty quiet.
So blue team, so as you can see, if you're watching the score, things shift really quickly and dramatically. Blue team was just ahead, now they're down by almost 300 points, Roman.
Yeah, that's because of the zone, that's it.
Because of Roman.
Luke's zone defense.
Roman, would you mind stop sucking?
So here we're following Roman's radar right now, pursuing
Come on, guys.
Kensei, but oh, just got intercepted by a Nobushi.
So hopefully people are jumping into the stream. This is our first time streaming on Twitch, streaming
First
on
time.
YouTube, and streaming on Facebook, the social media platform of the future.
We're multi-platform, guys.
So welcome, whichever stream you're watching on, or if you're watching on a replay, welcome. We are coming live from Ubisoft Montreal.
And if it's your first time joining our Twitch channel, make sure to click subscribe.
That's true. We have actually just with this very stream launched the For Honor Game Twitch channel. So please subscribe, especially if you didn't make it into our beta. If you subscribe, you will have a chance to get a code later in the stream, which is
Oh yes,
a big deal.
codes are really sought after,
Yeah.
especially today.
Going
Oh,
to
yes.
So we're playing on PC right now, guys, just like you at home. We're playing the exact same version of the game. It's going pretty smooth right now.
Orange team has
Yeah.
just pulled way ahead here. I think because I was shaming them initially by saying they were losing, and Damien does not like
Oh no.
lose. He's a very nice man, but you don't want to cross him. That's what I've learned.
Especially on the battlefield.
So, Emil mentioned we're playing on PC. The beta is available on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. We have no favorites. They're all great.
And don't forget, speaking of codes, you can also invite 3 friends
That's
if
true.
you didn't know before. So you can go on the beta page, forhonorgame.com/beta page. You can go there, invite 3 of your friends.
Yep.
I'm sure they will appreciate a lot.
It's a great way to get a group of 4 going. As you can see, one of our main modes is the 4v4 Dominion right here. So that was the idea with giving you 3 friend invites. So hopefully you can use them.
Absolutely.
And this is going the whole weekend. Obviously, maybe some people are working right now. It's a Thursday. A Thursday. That's weird. I never know what time or day I'm living in anymore.
Oh no.
No. While we're tight on me and Emil, I think I'm going to take a sip. I'm
Yeah,
going
why
to
not?
take a sip from my Death Wish coffee mug.
I'll do the same here.
Death Wish coffee for the best coffee that will kill you if you drink too much of it. They say that on their website, so I'm not slandering them. They sent us these great. They sent us these great mugs because there actually exists.
Oh yeah.
For honor, Death Wish Coffee.
Absolutely.
So if you go to deathwishcoffee.com/for honor, something like that.
I heard
you can-
apparently they're back order, but I'm sure that
so popular,
if
you
you
can-
ride them, they will probably produce more.
They have a samurai, a Viking, and a knight bag of Death Wish Coffee.
Everything is better in this mug.
Yeah. Okay. You don't know what we're drinking in here.
So here we have one team breaking at the moment.
What is breaking, Emil? Let's get into it.
It means that in a dominant mode, when you reach 1,000 points, the opponent team cannot respawn anymore. So you have to kill them all to win the game. So here we're at the breaking point right now.
The orange team crossed that 1,000-point threshold. So all they have to do is kill off the blue guys, and they will have won the match.
But knowing these guys, it will not be easy.
The blue guys could actually turn it around too if they captured point C. That would bring the orange guys back under 1,000, and the breaking mode would be canceled out. We'll see. We'll see if Roman can rally his troops.
What?
Or not.
Okay, 2.
The Orochi, I believe, is our friend Mike back there.
Here we go.
He loves to play the.
Oh,
Wow!
Come on,
That did not work out for him.
Roman.
So right now, Roman's the only one alive,
Oh yeah.
defending against the entire orange team.
The weight of the world is on his shoulders right now.
I like that little dance Roman does.
Yeah.
So the game has various emotes that you can do. That's what he's
Come
doing
on,
there.
guys.
What is your strategy, Eric, when you're the sole survivor of your team like this?
I usually jump off a cliff. I don't like that pressure. I don't like the pressure of carrying my entire team. I find the nearest drop point and just roll off. If I can. So it looks like currently Roman is facing off with who we got? With our friend Seb here in the middle. Oh, not anymore. He's dead. Wow. This is actually pretty impressive.
Okay.
Still the only man standing on his team. Oh man.
If you want to see some high-level gameplay, you're at the right place,
So we got
guys.
2v1 going on right now.
Oh, cheap shot.
So you might have just seen Roman tossed a grenade or something. Yep. If you look on the bottom of the screen, he has these 4 little slots. Those are his feats.
1v1.
And he still
What
has
are
2 of his
feats,
feats that
Eric?
you can use. Over the course of the match, you unlock your feats.
They're special abilities.
They are special abilities, and each character has different ones. So Roman is currently in cooldown for 2 of them, but he also has his speed that he could use, his speed boost, or the one next to it.
Okay, let's finish him.
Oh.
It was a
Where was
valiant
my team?
effort. They were dead. They were dead.
Excuse me, when you lose with that score,
Congratulations, guys.
you're missing a team.
Hey, bipolar game director.
Ah, you were in my team, that's why.
No real weapon. No real
Yeah,
weapons.
my katana.
That was actually a really good match. I'm pretty impressed, Roman. You held your ground against 4 other people for minutes on end.
That was impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You lost.
Thanks for joining this closed beta launch stream, guys. We'll be back after this cool video, and be sure to stay up until the end because we have a lot of
We
surprises
got
for you.
keys. Don't leave.
Keys.
Honor. What do you know about honor? You, who has never faced true fear. Learn what honor is before pretending you are a warrior. Know this before you step onto that thin red path where no misstep is allowed. Path that only ends when your legs fail to support you, when your heart stops beating. A path where sadness goes along with pain, and where glory is the color of blood. This narrow path goes only one way. A way covered with enemies and brothers. And it will take you, without any shame, into the hands of death. for the name you were given, and for your descendants. For honor.
Yes, guys.
That was a great video. Everyone watching now is probably pretty sad. I'm sorry for that, but we like to convey emotions with the games that we make and the trailers that we make.
So today we have a pretty packed schedule,
We do,
Eric.
we do.
Yes, we'll start by introducing some new characters because we have new characters in this closed beta. So we'll start with that. We also have new maps. What else do we have?
We've got a lot.
Yeah.
I think first we wanted to give a little shout out to the War of Factions.
Absolutely. We'll talk about as well. Just want to go through the agenda real quick. We're going to talk about our metagame, which is starting right now, which is live right now. And we'll also have an interview with our producer, Stéphane Cardin.
Yep, and we'll also be talking about some of the changes that have been made to the game since our closed alpha back in September. Roman's going to kind of walk us through those. And that's an overview of all the stuff you're going to get on the show, in addition to free keys.
Oh yeah,
Stick around.
absolutely. So thanks to our community managers on Twitch right now and on Facebook, FredX919, and also UB Guideal. They are there. If you have any questions, ask them on the chat. We will ask our team members here these questions throughout the stream. So don't hesitate if you have any question. Ask them on the chat. And yeah, thanks for joining this closed beta, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We can see your questions when they pop up, so don't be shy.
So something else going on, guys, on our website actually is called the War of the Factions. This is actually the world's largest cross-platform metagame on the internet, Eric. So basically, you can go there. You can go on our website on forhonorgame.com, pardon me, and you will find it very quickly on the website. You can join the War of the Faction. You can register. You have to register for that. Don't be afraid to do that. And then after that, all your victories in multiplayer will count in the global leaderboards. So that's kind of cool.
It's super cool.
And also we have streamers playing as generals in the War of the Factions. So make sure to catch them up. We have Lyric playing, we have Jack Frags, we have Co-Carnage, we have many more.
True Talent, what up?
Yes, we have also some of our community ambassadors playing. We have Pandego, we have Brotato as well.
Brotato.
Gigi Marzil. Who else? True Talent, Lisa as well, Lisa Bracken from the Netherlands. So make sure to watch them play. It's going to be fun. So we have a packed schedule. Also, right after this stream, on this channel, we're going to host some other streamers stream playing the game. We're going to host Summit on our channel right after this stream. So
Yeah,
make sure
sort
to check
of
them out.
the idea with this new channel that we have. Yes, we can show our own streams, and we can also host the other cool For Honor streams that are happening throughout the weekend. And then, of course, once we get into the launch period, we'll be seeding those into the streams as well. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And something we would like to ask Roman right here is, what are the changes we made in this game since the last closed alpha?
It was years ago, no?
Feels like it.
Yeah, feels like it.
Feels like a long
Just in
time.
September, but it feels like a decade
Yeah.
ago.
We did a ton of stuff. First, we did a big pass of balancing across the characters that were present in the closed alpha. We changed some mechanic. We did a lot of balancing on the Orochi. We changed his deflect mechanic. Now it's based on dodge and not anymore blocking.
Okay.
So that makes him much more vulnerable to feints. That
Which was
kind
a
of-
big piece of feedback we got, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit strong. But other characters also got a little bit of love. We did a lot of stuff also on the gear stats. We rebalanced the way we're doing gear stats. Basically, one of the mistakes we made on the closed alpha was the way the stats were spread across the gears, and so there was too few good choices, and actually everybody had the same template. So we did a lot of rebalancing on that. Also, lots of tuning on the values of those gear stats, how much actual benefit it gives to you versus how much it removes from you. So we did a lot of stuff on that. Also, we did a pass on progression, overall progression. Damien, the online game director, was actually really cheap in terms of rewards, so we forced him to be more
Is he
generous.
cheap as a person in general?
Yeah, actually,
okay.
yeah, he's really cheap. He never
You're
plays
speaking
beer
about
and,
the same Damien who was playing here.
Yeah, and not only he doesn't play really well the game, also he's anyway.
He's kind of a bad guy,
That's
right?
an issue, yeah.
He's super
we
nice.
do what we can.
He's very nice.
He's actually really nice and he's not cheap at all. So we did a lot of balancing on the progression, trying to smooth the curve at the beginning a little bit faster. We balanced the way we were distributing loot and this kind of stuff. And overall tweaking on game modes and the way we give score in Dominion to have a better pace.
Also, I think there were some
Think I'm
changes
missing
in the UI and on the HUD, I think.
Yeah, we did a pass of polish also on UI and HUD. We removed a lot of information. It was actually not useful. We polished the positions of the elements on screen and the size and kind of stuff. So a lot of polish on that.
And gave the players options with the UI as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. In game,
Alpha was pretty kind of a stripped down build.
yeah, exactly. No, today in options you have the ability to remove stuff from HUD, and also when you go, we'll talk about custom match after, but when you go in custom match, you have the opportunity not only to play with the rules of the game, but also with the visibility of UI and the kind of stuff.
And Roman, what is the purpose of this closed beta? Because the game is releasing very soon. So what do we want to test? What type of feedback are we looking for during this phase?
We have three big things that we want to get feedback on. It's first, of course, it's continuing to collect feedback over balancing, because internally we do a lot of tests, we have playtester, we had smaller live period, but that many people playing the game, that is an incredible amount of data that is really useful for us. So that's one of the first things. Also, same thing for faction war. We want to see how the community react to that, how it moves, how territories are won and lost, and what's the balance in that, how fast it goes, etc. So play a little bit with that. And also test the latest tuning we've made over progression and economy, and see how that flows, and if people feel rewarded at the correct pace and that kind of elements.
So if people were skeptical that, like Emil said, the beta is so close to launch, skeptical that we could actually make changes, those are all things that we can act on, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's the game. Yeah, the game is finished in the way that everything is implemented, etc. But now the big things, the big work that is left. So yes, there's still debugging stuff. Of course, if you encounter a bug, please let us know. But that's really important. But no, today the real tough part that we are focused on is actually the balancing, and that really fine-tuned balancing can only be done with a large amount of player, because otherwise we're only playing with edge cases, and it's really tough to get tendencies.
That's true. And the best place to give feedback, Eric, where is it?
In my opinion,
In your opinion?
probably on the closed beta forums. If you go to, actually we have a nice shortened URL for people. So if you go to forhonorgame.com/beta forums, all one word, that'll take you to our closed beta forums. But we are everywhere. We're seeing comments on Twitter, on Facebook. I'm on Reddit a lot, more than I probably would like to be for a happy life. But I'm on Reddit a lot. So if you leave comments there, we'll see them. But the forums are definitely your most direct place to talk to us.
We have polls going on there as well.
We do. We're trying to do daily polls throughout our live periods that we've already done, as well as our beta now, and they've worked pretty well. It's a good way to get at a snapshot, quick answer on a specific topic.
And that's how we improve the game from the latest phases. It's from your feedback, guys. So don't be shy. Go on the forums. Give your feedback.
Absolutely.
So I guess that's enough of the business, Eric.
The business.
Yeah.
You said that in our last stream, and I still love it. The business.
The business.
Yeah. And actually, I think Roman, in talking about some of the things we've added, gave us a little nice segue talking about custom match.
Absolutely.
So we wanted to show you how a thing called custom match works, because I think it'll be used a lot by friends and groups to play the game in specific ways. If we can cut to some gameplay footage right here. Right from the main menu, you go to custom match, and you have a ton of options. Right now, Ramon's by himself, but he could group up with up to 7 other people. That's what you see, the group members on the side. You can change the settings of bots. You can choose the specific bot characters, their level. I can let you do the talking. I don't have to do it all.
That's really cool if you want to train. I mean, you
Exactly.
can-
So basically, from custom match, not only you can invite friends and of course to do match with your friend, train, etc. But also, if you want to train with a specific character, you can do in that, learn the basic of that character, or fight against specific characters. So in the same way here, I want to do a duel, so I will add a bot. Let's say I want to learn how to fight against the sneaky Peacekeeper.
You do need help fighting against
And
the Peacekeeper.
then you can select the... Wait. Up. You can select what level you want her to be. So level 3, she's going to be really tough.
Our
Let's
bots are
start
pretty
with
serious. I
level-
think
yes.
people will find even level 1 will give you a nice challenge.
You can place her in a specific team if you're doing a Brawl or a 2v2. So even if you don't have 8 friends, you can go and play a Dominion and replace the bots, replace the missing player with bots and choose their level. So
That's
let's
right.
go with that. Then of course you can select your map. Pretty obvious. What is cool, we'll speak about that a bit later on the metagame, but basically, based on where you're fighting on the world map, things gonna change in each map, whether it's the environment, the weather, etc. So when you select a map to duel, or for any game mode, then you can select in which region of the world that map is set. So let's say I want to play in the Mire because I like rainy days. And then you can play with rules. You can, so for example, in duel, I can set what is the timer. I can set whether or not I want to use gear stats, and also I can set if I want to use or not feats in duel.
yeah.
So by default, when you're playing PvP with matchmaking stuff, feats are disabled in duel. But actually, if you want to play a duel with all your feats unlocked and see how fucked up that is, you can.
But if you're a purist and want to
Yes.
play without feats,
And without gear stats.
that's
you
the
can do
best
that.
place to go.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is, I think we've already started to see, this is the mode that the community will start using when they're putting together their tournaments, things like that. It really gives you tons of customization options. We're going to go with the Warlord here, one of our new characters.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we have not had a public live period with the Warlord in it yet. In Alpha, we had 6 characters. Now we have 9. The full game has 12, as you may or may not know. So we're going to run through the 3 new characters in the show today. Warlord being one of them. He's a heavy for the Vikings, isn't it?
Yeah. Sword and shield, he uses both.
Basically, he uses his defense as a way to open his enemy and to disable him. So as you can see, I have all my feats, so I can do. And she also has them. So no, she's used the feat that if she hit me, all of her action will trigger bleed. So not only her default action, she has already a lot of bleed, but with that, it's crazy.
He's playing against your favorite character.
Yes, I was going to
Eric,
say
right?
the Peacekeeper is another one of our
Bleed out.
another one of our new characters, and it's my favorite. And my crowning moment since I've been here at Ubisoft is beating Roman with the Peacekeeper. It made him very mad. He said
That happened?
He said I played like his 9-year-old, but I beat him. So what are you gonna say? I don't know. Peacekeeper rules. We'll get into her stuff a little bit later, but right now we're focusing on the Warlord and you can see this map's pretty intense with these geysers
yeah.
flowing.
You need to be careful.
They're not just pretty, they
The Peacekeeper with the bleed, she's really tough. With the bleed fit.
We already
Especially in
have
duels.
a few questions from Twitch, Roman. And this is my favorite part, giving shout-outs to people on the internet.
especially based on their ridiculous usernames.
Yeah, so I will start with Carlit1213. If you're not too busy, Roman, to answer, how did you have the idea of putting Vikings, Knights, and Samurai together?
Basically, when we started working on the games, we were focused just on the weapons and getting the sword feeling right, etc. And when that started to work, we were like, okay, we're onto something there. Then we had to think, okay, what's going to be the next weapon? Okay, we have the two-handed sword that is working, but what's going to be next? And so we had to start to think about what weapon we wanted to use, etc. And as we are progressing, it led us to the factions, because we were like, yeah, so the axes are cool, katana are cool, poleaxe, all this kind of stuff. And eventually, we got to the point that, okay, we need to choose factions. And Knight, Viking, and Samurai came by themselves because it's three great factions in terms of the way they fight, how emblematic are each of their weapons and the fantasy. And actually, as we pitched the game to a lot of people, and we were starting to toy with the idea of Knight, Viking, and Samurai, we figured that actually everybody has an answer to that question, are you Knight, Viking, and Samurai? Even if you don't know what game I'm talking about, even to people that at the beginning the game was not even existing that much, it was some prototype and stuff. We were asking people internally, when we were making presentation, we were starting with, are you Knight, Viking, Samurai, this kind of stuff Jason was doing. And everybody had an answer to that. Because
it's a good personality test.
Yeah, there's an element of it that is a personality test. It's, if you had to fight, for what type of ideal do you fight? Do you fight for freedom? Do you have moral code? It's that kind of thing.
Cool. And Exodus XG asked if you're playing on PC or console. We are playing on PC today. But as I said earlier, PC, Xbox One, and PS4 are all in the beta. And Scapegoats with a Z. This is an interesting one. What do the developers consider to be the primary game mode of For Honor?
Very good question.
Do you have an answer for that one? Or is it another personality test?
There's no real primary game mode. When we started the development, we focused on 4v4 game mode because we felt that was the toughest to get. So first, of course, we focused on getting the sword fighting and the art of battle stuff. But even before getting to duels, we were, since the beginning, we were playing 4v4. At first, we had this prototype. The network was not working, so we had to trick a little bit to be able to play 4v4. But since the early days, it was 4v4 to try to get that feeling of battle. And battle is it's not just two-person. And then when 4v4 was starting to work and we were good on the mechanic and on the rhythm, then yes, we went to duel, and duel was fun, but at some point we had a weird bug where you could join more than one people in a duel. And so we started to do 2v2s, and we were like, oh shit, that's cool. So that's why there's not a mode that we consider to be the core mode, etc. At the moment. The 5 game modes that we'll have at launch, I would consider them as the primary game mode.
And speaking of game modes, maybe that's a good transition to Brawl.
Let's do it.
Yeah, Brawl, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I think so. Obviously, all the modes are fun, and I think there are a lot of people we've seen in our live periods that love all of them. But I also think that we might see people gravitate. Certain types of players will gravitate to the 4v4, while other types of players might gravitate more to the 1v1.
Oh yeah,
because they like that almost fighting game aspect.
Yeah.
They're your Street Fighters or Tekkens or what have you. It gives you that face-off with one other person. Like you said, get this gear stats out, get the feats out. It's just pure skill. So I think certain types of players really dig that. And then other types like me, I'm more of a team player because I suck. So I like being able to help my team in some way or another. But,
because dual mode is very different. I mean, it's you and your weapon. You can't really hide. It's not like a shooter game when you. You can be
he's the Peacekeeper.
hundreds of meters away and snipe an opponent from that range. So it's you can freak out playing duel against some players. But that's a lot of fun.
So yeah, we're going to dive into Brawl mode. That's the 2v2 that Roman was just talking about. We're still sticking with custom match. So I'm going to show you the flexibility of the system. And you see in the versus screen, these colorful dudes mean that they're bots. So once in a while, you'll see that in regular multiplayer too. If someone is not in your match, if you don't have a full match of human beings, or if someone happens to leave the match, they get filled in with a bot. So here we are. So the interesting thing I think about 2v2 is it starts you facing off with an opponent.
It depends on the map actually.
Oh, cool.
On some maps, you start as a duel and you can join or not with your friend. In that specific map, you actually start with your friend side by side and start as a real 2v2.
Oh, that's cool.
So here again, no feats in this game mode.
Yep.
Just you and your weapon, and your teammate, of course.
And another new character here, the Nobushi from the Samurai faction. We'll get more into her specifics in a little bit.
So as you can see, I start with my
Yeah,
teammate.
this map is amazing.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful map.
Some maps you actually start separated and you get to choose whether if you want to flee from your duel and join with your teammate or...
Yeah, I like that dynamic of it because it gives you that option. They're like, are you two duelers or are you an actual team of, you want to be joined at the hip kind of and fight together?
Yeah, I like the snow. It's kind of similar to what Montreal looks like
Yes.
at the moment.
Yes.
Because we're live from the Montreal studio.
Yes, we are covered in
Yeah.
snow currently outside. It's better than the ice storm that we had the other day. So Roman is making short work here. You'll see it's a best of 5. Actually, in the custom mode, you can change the number of rounds too if you prefer more or less even.
What's really cool with the Nobushi is that she has a lot of range and a lot of zoning abilities. Here, a little bit careful. So she's really able to keep her enemy at bay. Picking one playing is not necessarily easy.
Well, these are the level 2 bots, right? So they're pretty tough. Trying to give you an excuse.
You need to be a little bit more focused.
Oh,
Pretty brutal execution there from the
She's
Peacekeeper.
badass.
That's why she's my favorite.
right.
And she won.
That was great.
Cool.
Good game, Roman. Good game.
And you can see Brawl, they can be pretty quick. That was the best of 5 right there. That was 3 matches right in a row. Pretty cool. So I think now, are we going to dive into the individual characters?
Let's do this. Yeah,
All right.
we have 3 new characters, and the first one. Let's start with the Nobushi.
Yeah, since you were just on her.
So Andrew, when you're ready, we have a beautiful video to show the Nobushi.
Villages far from the safety of our castles still need protection. But how can our armies protect the people when we samurai are so few? Nobushi, elegant, aggressive fighters with the lightest of armor and the most exotic of weapons. The Naginata. They seem hardly battle-ready, but looks, in this case, are profoundly deceiving. They keep our wilds safe, and we don't even know who they are.
So that
All
is our
right.
Nobushi. We're going to show you in some gameplay right now with Roman. I think we might come out of this beta with Nobushi being one of the top faves. What do you think?
That's a great
There was
one.
a lot of buzz about her once we announced her online.
Yeah, that's. I have to say that it's a beautiful character design. First of all, very iconic. I really like her weapon.
What is her
Very
weapon
original.
called?
Naginata.
The Naginata.
So, Roman, what can we say about the Nobushi? What are her strengths or weaknesses, or why would you want to use it on the battleground?
Her main strength is her Naginata, which is a long pole arm, so she has range.
Yeah.
She can be a little bit slower when she wants to perform powerful moves because she has to move that big wooden stick around. But she has some really fast poke to keep you at bay, so that's really her strength. It's try to keeping the opponent at bay like that. If you're trying to come close to me,
No.
but you need to time it well, otherwise you're getting your ass kicked.
So something new in the beta that folks haven't seen since they didn't see it in the alpha that you're also with Nobushi is the bleed effect.
Yes, and all of her poke and stabs actually apply bleed to the target.
So that's when it's purple. That means it's a bleed attack.
Exactly.
And if you're not familiar, that means when you're hit with a bleed attack, you kind of bleed damage for a period after the strike.
Oops, and what is really powerful with her when you actually successfully apply bleed to your target is that she gets bonus damage every time she's striking somebody that is already bleeding. So in duel, you want to try to apply your bleed and then go for your powerful moves. But also, if you're in a team, she has some really good team synergy with characters like the Peacekeeper, where the Peacekeeper can apply her stab, then run away, and then the Nobushi can enter and deal massive damage. The issue, as you might have noticed, is that she is really squishy.
Really squishy. Is that a technical term?
Yeah, she's a glass cannon. She's really good, she does a lot of damage, but...
You need to avoid getting hit.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, if people are not familiar, this black and white means you're out of stamina. So you move slower to regain it.
Then, successfully
Oh, there's
apply
the
bleed,
bleed,
you can
and
run away, and bye-bye.
Amazing. I love it.
Well done.
Nobushi is actually based on a real-world historical thing, yeah?
But historically, the naginata was a weapon, still today used, but was a weapon used by women, and because it was all that concept of farmers that were not allowed to use weapons, but that actually used farm tools that slowly became weapons.
Badass. And I don't think we've actually talked about what class type Nobushi is.
So she's an hybrid. She's a mix between a champion and an assassin.
So a hybrid of those two other classes.
So like a champion, she has the stances and she can maintain defense. But like an assassin, she has bleed. She does a lot of damage. And also, I'm gonna show you, she has an hidden stance. So basically,
Hidden stance.
when
okay.
I press down on the right stick, I go in that stance, and the opponent can't see now where my attacks are coming. But when I go in that stance, I lose my defense.
Oh wow.
So I need to be really careful.
Well, that's cool. So this is also.
So like for example, I'm right here, but if I go even stance and then left, I didn't so which stance this one was coming. And also, when you get into that stance, what is cool is that you have a really small dodge window. So here, I was able to dodge the first hit, so that can be also useful to dodge on the spot.
And she's the first hybrid we're showing in a live period too. There were no hybrids in our alpha.
So Mace 8704 is asking, because we just saw that. What does the glowing purple weapon indicate?
So it's the bleed effect. Every attack that can actually put bleed on your opponent, the attack on the trail will glow purple. We have a code. Basically, we color coded all the specific gameplay effects of each moves with different glow. So, for example, moves that can't be blocked will have that orange flame-ish glow. Moves that can't be interrupted, you will have that white flash across your character and on the trail to inform you that that's an unstoppable attack. We have like melee attack that have a yellowish glow. Each type of specific effect get their own feedback like that. Great.
Cool.
Are we ready to move on to the Warlord?
I think so. And while we do that, I'll just mention before we go to the video, Quixoptic wants to know if we have any plans for ranged weapons or abilities.
So currently in the game, we have Feats. So Feats are the power that your characters can unlock as they progress inside a match. That give ranged abilities to the character. So for example, the Peacekeeper can pull out a crossbow, the Orochi can throw kunai, The Kensei has a massive longbow, Japanese longbow, etc. So there are some range weapons, but we treat them more as powers than as a real character class. So you need to use them wisely. They have munitions, so it's not free fall on those. And why is it like that? Well, because the goal of that game in terms of fantasy and in terms of immersion, it's melee weapon, that fantasy of fighting me against you in that really close range, close quarter experience.
Eye to eye.
And not only ranged weapon don't really necessarily fit in that, but also the moment you start to have ranged weapon in the battle, well, guess who's gonna win? Because there's only in movie where you see the guy dodging the arrows and getting to the guy. Today you have the expression "Don't bring a knife to a gunfight." Well, sorry guys, but it was the same with bows and sword. Yeah, don't bring a sword if the guy in front of you had the bow, or he didn't saw you coming. But if you have a big armor, trying to sneak on somebody, I'm not sure it's a good tactic.
So thanks for asking your questions, guys. Don't forget, don't be shy. Ask us your questions on the chat. We're out there for you.
Cool.
So moving on to the
Warlord, yeah?
yes, Andrew, when you're
Check
ready.
out that video.
There are traditions among our people that run deep as stone. Their shields are as versatile as they are strong. Their swords are as lethal, simple, and ancient design. And a leader who does not lead the charge is no leader at all. They are called Warlords, a name that has earned another ancient tradition. To become a warlord means service to all who need it for life. They are the shield of our people. And they will not fall.
It's no phone.
We are back with the Warlord.
Thank you for calling me that. And we're also here with Roman, and we're going to check out a character in For Honor, also called the Warlord.
We call the Warlord here within the team Papa Bear.
Why do you call him Papa Bear?
The beard, I would say.
It's funny, I call him Viking douchebag.
No, okay.
He is sort of bear-like, isn't he? Yeah, he's like a big bear. Why not?
So what can we say about the Warlord, Roman?
So the Warlord is the AV from the Vikings. So it's at first he's a defensive character. He has the shield. When you go down on the right stick, you go in total mode, which gives you full defense around you. So first he's really defensive, but actually his play style is all about harassing the opponent. So like you see, I can go in full defense. So basically, if the guy wants to open me, we'll have to do either an unblockable attack or a guard break.
And that full block mode takes stamina to hold.
Yes, exactly. That is actually really an in-your-face character because he has some really short combos, but they can really flow one from the other. So for example, from here, I can quickly go to a heavy attack. Then from that heavy attack, I can quickly go to a light attack. Or I can go to a headbutt, then flow into a light attack, into a heavy attack, then dodge back. If the guy is trying to stay away from me, I can lunge, headbutt, stab, and run back. Bye-bye. So that's why he's really cool with him, is that, yeah, he's really good at defense, but he's also really good at harassing your opponent. His major issue is that, so his weapon is a gladius, and he has really short range. His only two moves that allow him to close the distance is that, oops, missed this one.
His
That
sword
lunge.
looks, I was about to say, his sword looks a little bit like a Hofberg, like the legendary Viking sword.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that in it. It's this one. He has some pretty good ones. So that's really the basics of the character. But also he has two really, really interesting tools. also at his disposal is that usually when character attacks, they completely lose their defense. For example, here you see the Warden attacking me. When he attacks, you see the red arrow, meaning that there's an attack coming, but the white arrow disappears, meaning that he loses defense. Well, when I attack, for a short period of time, I keep my defense. So if I time well, I can block and counter attack at the same time
So
with my light attacks.
Cool.
I'm gonna try to do it again because the timing is tough. But missed it. So that's for his light attack. So that's really powerful countering tool. But also his heavies. See, at some point I glow white during the move, meaning that I can't be interrupted at that moment. So because he has that massive HP pool, as you can see, I have many more HP bars than my opponent. He's got almost 40% more HP than the Warden. He's also a character based on trading blows with his opponent. Okay, you're almost dead. I think you're gonna start attacking me. Oops, I did it badly. Oops, I'm not almost dead. You can throw an attack, and if you try to counter me, you miss. Maybe you're gonna hit me. Actually, I'm gonna absorb that blow and be able to land my kill.
Wow.
So it's that mix between tanking, then when you see the opportunity through his defense, harassing the opponents, and to finish him being able to trade blows.
Wow.
So in one of the latest life period that we had, his headbutt attack was a little bit too powerful. So we did a little bit of tweaking on it in the current closed beta. So you guys tell us what you think about it.
But yeah, he seems like a super powerful. Like if you can master him.
Yeah, he's
powerful
really
character.
strong. Yeah, he's really strong. He's really strong, but it's a specific playstyle.
Yeah,
you need
for sure.
you need to like really close range character with really limited combos because basically his only chain is light to heavy attack or heavy to light attack. That's his only chain. Doesn't have a lot of fancy moves, etc. But he has also really fast AoE attack, fast zone attack when you press a bumper and trigger at the same time.
Nice.
That's is the timing. But well, it's all about that. So that's why we call him Viking douchebag, because when he's well played, it's that big guy that is always in your face, harassing you, pushing you, hitting you, pushing you, hitting you. That's Jason that called him like that. It's that.
Good.
Because he hates the guy. Despise him.
And is that like a drinking horn on his back? What is going on there?
Yeah, of course. He's always no. It's the fantasy of the character is that's why it's called the Warlord. It's kind of like
It's his war horn.
yeah, exactly. It's kind of like a Viking leader, and so that is war horn to.
He calls the shots.
Yes, exactly. To motivate the troops and call for.
Someone is asking, again, it's Mace 8704. When you're completely out of stamina, what are all the negative side effects?
So all of your attacks are slower. You can't chain anymore. You can't perform any special moves, so you only have your default attacks available. You can still dodge and block because I didn't want the players to feel
Completely vulnerable.
exactly helpless when you're out of stamina. Basically, stamina is not a defensive resource; it's more an offensive resource. And even for the guys like the Warlord, where he use his defensive stance and he lose stamina. Why do we lose stamina in defensive stance? Because yes, it's a defensive tool. You're defended all around you, but actually you use it to open your opponent. Because when you block in that stance, you have frame advantage. You can attack, and your attack will land if the character in front of you is trying to do anything else. Or from that stance, you can actually chain into specific attack move like the headbutt or a really fast heavy attack. So basically, it's a countering move in a way. It's a defensive tool that can be used really offensive. So that's why that one consumes also stamina. But mainly stamina, yes, you're slower. You have access to less fighting moves, and also if you get parried or guard breaked while you are out of stamina, you will fall to the ground and you will be open for a free heavy attack.
And what's the best way to, another question here by Sweetie U 88.
Sweet Louie 88.
Sweet Louie. What's the best way to keep your stamina?
So stamina every time. Every action that you do takes a little bit of stamina, but stamina instantly come back. So as soon as you have stamina and you manage your stamina, you should be good. But the issue is when you start to chain moves that consume stamina and don't let the stamina come back, they add. But as long as you have even 1 point of stamina, you're good. It's always going to come back. The issue is when you get to 0 stamina, that's where you get to the out of stamina state. And that state, the stamina won't come back for a while, and then it will start to come back slowly. And again, here, if you perform a move, it will consume stamina and reset that cooldown of no stamina. So basically, it's managing your stamina and don't throw everything you have. Don't spam like crazy bastard.
I think this question is probably too big to encapsulate in a really short answer, but I think it's worth asking. Is Evgenikos asks, do each of the fighter types have strengths and weaknesses against each other, and if so, what are they?
Yeah, of course. All of the fighters, all of the 12 fighters are built like to have interesting matchups, and some are stronger matchups, and others are weaker matchups. Like for example, the Peacekeeper is really strong against the Warlord because it's a character that's super hard to counter, and that has a lot of tools to open a defensive character. Like for example, if the Warlord, as soon as the Warlord will go in total stance, you pop a guard break with the Peacekeeper, and you can stab him to death. She has a lot of cancels, so she's gonna bait the Warlord into triggering a countering move, and she's then actually gonna dodge it or counter it, etc. So that is strong. Not saying that you can't beat her as Warlord, but it's a strong matchup for the Peacekeeper. But Peacekeeper against, let's say, what was in the last beta, the matchup table? Against the Raider. No, actually, against the Rochi was pretty balanced. Against the Raider, she has a hard time against the Raider because the Raider, he has some slow moves, but those moves are unblockable, and the timing is slightly off, so they are not that easy to dodge. And because they are unblockable, the Peacekeeper can't use one of her really powerful tools, which is the deflect. So deflecting is done by dodging in a specific direction with the correct timing, but you can't do it on an unblockable move. So that's removing a lot of their abilities. Also, the guard break of the Raider is pretty useful, and the Raider can cancel any of his slow and unblockable heavy attack into a quick forward light attack that stuns the opponent. So in the matchup, he's really strong against the Peacekeeper. So that's the way each character is built. Each character has his own weakness and in his own strength, and usually it's an answer to another character's strength or weaknesses.
Great. So we're about to transition to your favorite character.
Yes,
Rick.
the Peacekeeper.
The Peacekeeper.
Let's roll that video.
Oh yeah.
When wars end, it is the silent blade that keeps the peace. But when wars rage, a peacekeeper's work is never done. Quick, lethal. They can win a fight before their enemy even knows they are there. Dancers of death with dual blades for dancing partners. Selected from the desperate, the humbled, or the devoted. Sworn to secrecy by unbreakable oaths. What they know can destroy legends or create them.
So we are back.
My favorite.
Why is it your favorite character?
So I for a long time playing this game, the Raider was my main character, and he felt right for me. And then once I start to play with the Peacekeeper, something clicked. I like how fast she is. I like that her moveset, I have a really crappy brain, so her moveset, for some reason, sunk in. I was like, oh, I remember all these while I'm playing, and that was kind of a big blocker for me. And like, yes, this makes sense completely. My body accepted I am a Peacekeeper. So her set of moves, you're right, don't I look just like her set of moves, I like she can jump, she can stab. I love the bleed.
Yeah.
And again, the quickness of it, it's really fun. I'm a big Dark Souls player, and that's sort of how I play Dark Souls, is a lot of rolling away from attacks instead of using a shield. And this is just fitting for me really well. So we'll see how Ramon explains her.
Yeah. What do you
So
think,
I'm
Roman?
actually really bad as the Peacekeeper. So you might want to make the demonstration. I'm really, it's not, I like her look, but it's not at all the type of playstyle.
I can see that. You are not a Peacekeeper type.
No, it's because she's too technical for me. I'm a little bit old on my finger, I'm a little bit crooked. No, joking. No, but the idea of the Peacekeeper is that, so she's really a technical character in terms of input.
When you say technical, you mean like you need to be careful.
It means that
every move
she's one of the characters that require most a lot of timings. Her move really needs specific timing to be done. Like for example, when I guard break, being able to land the three stabs.
Right. You don't get those for free. You have to time it.
Yeah,
just
and
right.
the timing needs to be good. Not saying that it's super difficult. I've fought against a lot of players that actually does that like instantly.
It's
but
also,
in the heat of the battle, it requires a lot of cold blood that I don't have.
You know what I actually like
Cold-blooded
about,
is not actually one of my strengths.
what I like about that mechanic specifically is before I came here, I worked on music games for years and years, and there's actually a little rhythm game aspect of that stab.
Yeah.
Like you have to get into the right rhythm to land all three of them.
There is usually rhythm in fighting games.
That's true, yeah. Hey, there you go. Killed him with the
But
lead.
Good job.
the biggest strength of the Peacekeeper, so she's fighting with a short sword and a dagger. And all of her default attack goes with the short sword, so it's normal attack. They're fast, but it's normal slashing moves. And all of her specific moves are done with the dagger. So for example, every time I successfully land the attack, let me. I can instantly confirm that attack with a light attack, and that light attack will be performed with the dagger. And
stab.
every time you hit with the dagger, you put a stab on your shoulder,
The bleed, yeah.
and the stab gives bleed. So all of her gameplay is trying to counter your opponent and make him bleed, and then get out, let him bleed, and while he's panicking and trying to come back to you and kill you before he bleeds out. Again, deal damage, get out, etc. It's really the basis of the character. Here, as you can see, I've landed the heavy attack, and I've been able to confirm. I missed it. Confirm with a light attack.
Speaking of attack speed, Solemn Knight SA is asking, which character has the highest attack speed for light attacks?
Could not say for sure, but the Peacekeeper is one of the fastest characters.
Yeah.
Because also there is something that makes a light attack feels faster than what they actually are. It's the fact that she has neutral stance. So by default, she doesn't have a position, so there's less telegraph in her move because you don't see where the bleed is starting.
It's harder
from.
to read.
Instantly starting as an attack, so you need to be prepared to react. So that makes the move a little bit faster.
What you just did is what one of my favorite things about her is that jumping attack, because you can do it left and right or center.
Yeah.
And that's so fun to just kind of work her. You see where the opponent's about to attack from, you just jump to the right and stab. Something more basic about her that I would just call out for people who aren't super familiar with For Honor, she doesn't have the regular block that most of the other characters have because she's an assassin. That already went away too quickly. But
Yeah,
you need to time your block just as
by
they
default,
attack.
you don't have defense. Where you put your weapon is where you're gonna attack.
Yeah.
But it's not. You're not defended. If you want to defend, you need to correctly time your switch stance, and you only get defense for the first 600 or 700 milliseconds of the pause, and after that, defense is gonna basically up.
Yep.
Maybe one last question on the characters, guys, before we move on to another topic. Someone is asking, I can't read the name, unfortunately. Maybe Eric, about the parrying, yeah.
Male C
Change
Afro.
color, please.
Oh.
Thank you.
Mike Afro.
Magic
Magic
Afro.
Afro.
Magic Afro. Now that makes sense. So, shout out Magic Afro. That's a cool name. Someone is Magic Afro is asking, parrying attack seems a bit hard, especially against unblockable attack. Are there characters that parrying is easier with others?
No,
Are
actually,
there
there's-
characters that are more defensive?
Parrying is in terms of timing, it's the same across all characters. How to perform a parry, it's easy. It's when an attack is about to land, just before contact, there's a window of 300 milliseconds. And if you successfully input an heavy attack in the same direction where that attack is coming from, you're going to parry. So let's say you attack me on my left, 300 milliseconds before your attack lands. If I successfully attack in that direction with a heavy attack, I'm gonna parry you. So that's true across character. What makes it easier or hard or tougher to parry is, of course, the pace of the attack. Not because the parry window is bigger, but it's because you have more time to anticipate where the attack is coming from. And usually, unblockable attacks, with some specific case, are slower, so you have a little bit more time to anticipate where it's coming from. But of course, the stakes are higher, because if you do your parry too late, well, you're not going to block that attack, you're going to get hit. And if you do your parry too early, usually there are more powerful attacks, so you're going to take more damage. So if you're not really good with parry, you might want to dodge.
There is a part of the advanced training though where you can practice that.
Exactly. In game there is the practice modes, and in practice you can select basic or advanced. And yes, in advanced training you can train forever your parries if you want.
That's really where it clicked for me. It was when I just finally had endless time to do the advanced training. It's like,
But
aha,
there
it's on
is
the second
there is a
blink.
small so you can read the animation, of course, but also there's a small tell in terms of UI. It's when you're getting attacked, you see the red arrow, and just before being hit, the arrow blink. That blinking moment is the window for the parry. But actually, parrying, you get in playtest, we see that in live paired. Actually, this morning I was playing against people that were already parrying me, and checked the name, and that was people discovering the game. It was not returning players. So some people get it really fast. Other people will take 3, 4, 5 days to get it. But usually in a week, almost everybody gets parry. Not 100% of the time, of course. It takes sometimes you miss, sometimes you successfully do it, but it's not that powerful, because also when you're trying to parry, you're open to feint. So the guy feint, you launch your heavy attack, and he has all the time in the world to actually parry you or dodge you or do whatever he wants with you, because you're in your heavy attack build-up. So parrying is not that it's not that skill, and actually in terms of opportunities, it doesn't give you that much of an opportunity. It gives you a big frame advantage. Usually when you parry, if you counter-attack, if the guy is not spamming attack, you will win. But he can still manage to block your attack. Some characters have special moves that comes out after parry, but it's not a guarantee hit. It's not always a guarantee hit after parry. Whereas the assassins have the deflect. So basically deflecting is done in the same timing as parry, actually a little bit tougher, by dodging in the correct direction. And those moves are actually much tougher to do, but gives big payoff. Like for example, the Orochi, his attack post deflect is a killer move. Like they did like 40 points of damage, something like that. It's one of the most powerful attacks in the game.
Wow.
All right. So thanks for joining us, Roman.
Thanks.
We'll see you later playing the revenge match
Yep.
against our teammates. But before that, we're being told that the Minion on PC has some problems at the moment, and the team here is investigating and working on it. So stay tuned.
So if you're a PC player, you can just watch us, or sounds like you can try Brawl or dual modes as well. One thing I also just wanted to shout out, if you are a beta player and you're taking a break to watch us, and you haven't done advanced practice, you should, because it actually gives you a whole bunch of steel. So not only does it teach you some more mechanics, some more advanced mechanics, you get a big bunch of steel.
Teach you how to parry, but also it teach you how to counter guard breaks to the technical.
Yes.
That, my friend, is an important skill.
And if you want to learn more about these characters, if you want to learn how to play them, we have tons of information for you, especially on our website for honorgame.com. You can go there. There's battle tips video that you guys can watch, made by some content creators on YouTube. there's also a lot of cool game guides that members of our community have created.
That's right.
So shout out to the For Honor Legends, to the Hall of Heroes, to all of these guys contributing to this awesome community. You can find these game guides on the forums.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised if they've already pasted them in the beta forums as well, too. They're really helpful. They've got animated GIFs so you can see specific things that they're talking
They
about.
are really awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, they are really,
Oh,
really
yeah.
good guides. And congrats, guy, for doing that amazing work because they're really good.
So in a minute, we're going to talk about the Faction War metagame after this teaser.
About the faction war.
Absolutely.
The Faction War is the persistent cross-platform conflict between the Knights, Vikings, and Samurai. The faction you have pledged allegiance to determines who you'll fight for in the Faction War, but doesn't stop you from playing any available hero. The Faction War englobes all multiplayer and bot activities. After each match, you'll be awarded war assets based on your personal performance. You can deploy war assets to help conquer an enemy territory, or defend one of yours against opposing factions. On a global level, the Faction War is divided into territory updates, rounds, and seasons. Territory updates occur every 6 hours, while rounds last 2 weeks and seasons last 10 weeks. For each territory update, the faction with the most war assets on a specific territory controls it. The world map will display the new faction-controlled territories and move the different fronts. Fronts will define which map you will play on. A map that was controlled by the Knights and is now controlled by the Samurai will have many visible changes. At the end of each round, players who participated will get a reward depending on the rank of their faction in that round. Once the season ends, everyone will get rewards depending on the rank of their faction. At the end of each season, the faction war is reset and will resume after an off-season period. The world will forever be impacted by what happened in the previous seasons of For Honor.
All right, so we're back with Damien again, our online game director, but we have a new guest here, Carmack Polivska.
Hello.
Who is
Two
a
of our
game director.
designers.
Yeah,
Yep.
game designer, pardon me.
Yep.
How are you guys?
Fine.
We're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
So that was
Very
actually a
good
really,
day.
really cool video. I hope people got something out of that because I think there were some questions. What really is the faction war? And that's what you guys
Yeah.
are here to talk
Yeah.
about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if we want to cut over to our beta,
So
Yes. There's one thing that is important right now.
yeah.
Because the first event for the faction war just finished.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to show it live to you guys from home.
Okay.
And here you go. So we're gonna tell you
Oh,
later
cut
about
over-
the
yeah,
turns,
there we
but
go.
basically, oh my god.
Wow.
So the samurai got a lot.
Yeah.
So what just happened showed over the last, what was it, 6 hours?
Yeah.
The
Since this
update
morning.
to the map is that the samurai moved their front forward a ton, yeah?
yeah.
All right, so let's take a step back
Yeah.
and give us the overview. What's going on here? What is this?
So right now what we see is the world map. Right now the samurai are leading 28 territories. This morning it was mainly 20. And what you see is cross-platform. So PS4, PC, Xbox
yeah.
One, they all see the same thing right now.
Amazing.
So that's pretty cool. It's one of the pillars that we wanted to talk to you about. And I'll let Damien talk a bit about the pillars, a bit of high level.
Yeah. What's
perspective.
the idea behind
So-
this big thing?
I will jump on the cross-platform ID. We will watch back
If you want to switch over to the other screen, Andrew.
the world map update. But basically, that's the part of our game that is cross-platform because we have a lot of questions about that. So the part that is cross-platform is that world, the world of For Honor. We have only one world, and it's shared amongst all the activities that all players do on all platforms. And that's the result of it. So the main idea is that when you enter the game, one of the first things that we ask you to do is to select a faction. And you will fight for that faction in all the matches you do on the world map. So it could be even bot matches, it could be duels, it could be Dominion matches, whatever. All of that you do, fight for the greater good and for the faction war. our idea was to kind of translate the idea of that never-ending war between the three factions in the world of Honor. That happens after the story mode finishes, story-wise in our world. And so the main idea was to say that everybody would fight for a faction, but that doesn't restrain you from picking any character you want. That's also a key aspect of it. You
So
can
you
play
can pick
with
a
three
Viking
friends.
and fight for a samurai.
Exactly. One of the thing also that people need to understand is that it's your personal performance that is taken into account, and that's one of the things that Carmack will show you. So it's not if you won the match or not, but it's really based on your personal performance during that match that you will be granted war assets.
Your stats, your
exactly. If you perform
points
well,
you
if you played well, you're a hero. And based on that, you will be granted war assets, and you will apply those to fight for your faction. And that's one of the things that we will show you in a minute
just after
with Carmack. He's almost there.
Yes. Need to win this.
One of the key things also, as you can see, depending on who's winning and who's fighting, you will the front line will move, and the front lines defines where you play, and where you play in the world impacts in which map you will play at that specific day and that specific moment, because we have a ton of different maps and map variations. I will show you a video about that a bit later, and that's also one of the key things. I will switch to Carmack that can deploy some more assets.
Yeah. So now we just finished a match, and now what we can do with it is deploy the war assets. The war assets are resources that you get every time you play a match. No matter if you win or you lose, you receive war assets. So right now we will
switch back to Carmack's screen,
yes.
please.
I'm just gonna come back there. Thank you.
No, the other one.
Yeah.
Thanks,
cool.
Andrew.
Thank you. So every time you start a match and you finish it, you can deploy the war assets. So you're gonna see the map where you were playing. So we were playing in the duel, and you see those territories. So those represent maps exactly. So we were playing a duel. That's why it was in Valkenheim, because it was in that specific region.
Okay.
And there I can decide if I want to defend my territories or attack others. So now I see that I'm Viking, and I see here that the knights are trying to take that samurai territories. And here I'm actually winning the war for now. Everything is synchronized with the actions of the players over time. And every turn takes basically 6 hours. So right now, since this morning, it was the first turn. And what we saw was the transition. Yeah, I'm going to leave the match. So now, since I placed the war assets, I can go on the map and look where I place them. And this is live. This is cross-platform.
This is in real time.
Yes, exactly. Players will see everything, the same version of the map. This is really important for us because for the community, we wanted something that where people can go on Reddit, can go on Twitter, etc.
And while you're
synchronize.
While you're mentioning, not only is it the same, whether you're on PS4, Xbox One, or PC, even if you're not in the game, we have a pretty cool website where you can go to check that out. And the URL for that is... I'm waiting for it on my screen. We have an amazing web app actually that it'll show you the state of the faction war. It'll show you your player stats. It will show you, you can actually create or edit your emblem there.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. The URL is game-forhonor.ubisoft.com.
Yeah.
game-forhonor.ubisoft.com.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Cool. So yeah, you can see that anytime you're not playing and you want to see what's the state of the war. And like we just said, matches are done every second. So we have tons of players right now in the closed beta. Everyone is playing. The war assets numbers are moving all around the territory. So everything that we see here and the contested territories, this changes all the time that you look at the map. So it's really important with your faction to basically defend them. So that happens every 6 hours. After that, every 2 weeks, we have the rounds. The rounds basically is an event where we say, okay, one of the faction has won, the faction that has the most territory. So right now, if the samurai are continuing fighting and that specific war, they're gonna probably win, but it's still first turn. There's 57 turns at the end of a round, so it can be a lot of
no panic.
a lot of tug of war. But the idea is to take as much territories as possible, win the round, and after 5 rounds, what we have is the end of the season. So every time you finish a round, you get rewards based on your faction ranking. So if you're the first with your faction, you're gonna gain better rewards that are gameplay. So it's really cool, new loot, additional loot based on your rank. And at the end of the season, still based on the ranking of your faction, you're gonna win custom cosmetic items and also gameplay items as well, so loot.
I'm going to interrupt you for a big question that I know people are probably asking. Okay, so say what if like 60% of the entire community goes into samurai?
Yeah.
What if things are really lopsided by where the players want to align themselves? How do the Vikings not get crushed every time?
That's a really good point.
Question.
Yes. There was other games that didn't do it, like they tried to do factions war in their own game. It didn't work well. So was one of the core game design question that we had to make it balanced for everyone, no matter if you're 100,000 players and 1 million players. So what we do is we always balance the numbers of war assets based on your own faction, and faction population based on the activity of players. So if you have 1 million players and the 1 million players is active and you have 100,000 players in the other faction, we'll just balance it out so that everyone can have basically its own impact in the game. So no matter if your faction is smaller or bigger, we just balance the numbers. So it's not based, the faction war is not based on the amount of players, but on the performance.
Oh, okay.
If you perform better, but you're less players, it's gonna count as much as if you have a bigger faction that is performing as good as you, basically.
Another question here for you guys by Fat Island Gaming. We know these guys.
These are the guys with the beards.
They want to know what happens if you don't deploy your war assets, if you keep them for yourself.
Good point. So For Honor is a fighting game, first of all. And we know that it might not interest everyone to place the war assets between the matches all the time. So we have an automatic system for that. Every time you finish a match, if you don't want to place your war assets manually because either you're already winning, for example, and you're like, oh, I don't need to place it at a specific tactical point, or it doesn't interest you, well, the game will place them for you. So what we do is we take it based on all the territories where you can place them. So if you're samurai, every territory that is yours on the front line, or every territories that are enemy but are touching your front line, we're going to place them automatically and distribute them all there. So no matter if your faction is more active than one another, you're still going to help the faction. There won't be any player that will drag down the faction, for example. Yeah.
All right, I want to get in, just if we can, just to some real nitty-gritty UI questions.
Yeah.
Just so people understand exactly what they're seeing. So for this view right now, I'm zoomed in on the dual front of the samurai and the Vikings, and a little bit of the knights. So, like in the upper 3, I see a blue bar and I see a fatter red bar.
Yes.
And what does that mean?
So the fat red bar means that this is the faction that is currently leading in the war asset. So
in that particular region.
Yes, exactly. So you see, you have Viking territories that are red right now. And you see the bars, and those are the war assets that are currently on those territories. So at the end of the 6 hours, whoever is leading in that bar will win that territory. So we see there with the knight on the samurai territory, if they continue pushing there, they're going to win the territory at the end of the 6 hours. So this is also done, we have 4 turns per day. It's also done to balance between each of the time zones. So everyone has its own fair chance to play and can defend himself against other players in other time zones, for example.
And so then, does that mean the crossed swords in the regions show that's who is likely to take it in the next round?
Yes, exactly. That means it's contested right now. So you see it in the scoreboard on the top right corner of the screen, where you see, well, the knights are leading by 1 territory. And if it continues like it is right now, the Samurai will lose 7 territories, and the Vikings will gain 6 territories.
Wow.
But this changes every second.
Right,
so
of course.
The scoreboard itself updates every minute, so you can look at it on the game to web and in the game.
And so the
And
red
those-
part of this view doesn't have those cross swords because they're not currently contested.
Because
that
they're
right?
Yeah,
Viking
exactly.
owned.
Yeah.
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 They're
Cool.
owned by the Vikings that defended them. It's safe for them.
Cool. Thank
So
you.
at home, guys, make sure to fight for your faction to represent your religions.
If
Actually-
you go on your capital, at the Viking at the top, you can also have a global view if you press the trigger of the fight. So you
Of
can
all the
see
contested
of all the
territories, yeah.
contested territories. So it's also a cool way to see what's going on in one snapshot.
Now, is there any sort of strategy you could speak to right now, given the state? Like, is that a strategic move by the Knights there in that corner one? Because there's not enough of the Viking and the Samurai assets to really take that corner, but because they're kind of already fighting a kind of a long front.
Yeah.
So is that a strategic move maybe by the Knights that they can easily take that?
So yeah, I think it's a good move. One of the things you can try to do is isolate a region. So as soon as you isolate a region, so which means that that region is not connected anymore to any other region of the same faction.
Surrounded by the other.
Yeah, you will lose that region on the next turn. So you don't even to conquer it; it will be lost
You can just
right
isolate
away.
them, yeah,
So
exactly.
you can isolate regions. That's a good tactic.
Amazing.
To earn more territories on the go.
I think there's a lot of like board game fans that are
Yes.
pretty excited
Oh, yeah.
to hear you
Yeah.
say these
It
things.
reminds of axes and alleys. And
Yeah.
Very cool.
And so here we can see that we moved on Ashfield and on Valkenheim, so player will play a lot on snowy maps for the next 6 hours.
Yeah. And Dominion is mostly on Ashfeld and the Mire right now, so
Yeah.
jungle and Mediterranean.
So Brawl Duel will be in
mostly.
Valkenheim, so snowy versions of the maps.
Cool.
And here you will more have the Mediterranean version of the maps.
oh, nice, nice.
Which is a good segue, Damien, to talk about our map variations, which we have a video for.
Yeah.
So shall we roll that video, Andrew?
In For Honor, all multiplayer maps have multiple variations. Each map variation has different weather, time of day, vegetation, and vistas, creating a unique atmosphere on the same map layout. Here you can see how these different variations can completely change the mood of our canyon map. Depending on where the fronts of the faction war are located, players will potentially experience a different variation of the same map. For example, if the Dominion front is located in Valkenheim, then all available maps for that mode will be in a Valkenheim variation with snow and sparse vegetation. If it moves to the Mire, then the maps will be in one of their Mire variations, featuring hot and humid weather and jungle-inspired trees. For Honor will feature 12 multiplayer maps at launch, with 4 to 6 variations for each map. That's a total of 60 different map variations that players will be able to enjoy right at release, with more to come as free DLC in the following months.
Oh, yes, we're back.
Welcome back. Sorry we jumped to that segment so much we didn't get to thank our previous guests who have morphed into even more beautiful guests. But thank you to Kermac and to Damien. I hope people found that Faction War segment interesting. I know I did.
So, guys, now we want to talk about the new maps because we have 3 new maps in this closed beta. Hope you guys are excited. So,
Say their names.
with us.
Yeah, I love that. Their
With
names
the-
are switching.
With the magic of live streams.
I did that. I did that with
Oh,
my
you
hands.
did?
Yeah,
Oh,
I've got
okay.
magnets.
I knew you were in control of this whole thing. So right next to me we have Christian Diaz, art director on the game. Christian, this is our first time streaming
It's a
with
premiere
you.
for me. Super happy to be with you guys.
Yeah, thanks for
We
joining
are
us.
super happy.
And
And
Jeff Spicer, who we unfortunately have to have back. Just kidding. Another one of we have so many nice people on this team. I have to give them shit just to make them. I need some negative response up here. Everyone's so nice. Jeff is one of our project managers and spent a lot of time working on our levels.
Yeah. 2 years to be exact.
Oh yeah. First questions for you guys. We have the art direction part here and level design. How do you guys usually work together? How do you collaborate? Or because I guess there's a lot of challenges with your 2 fields of interest.
I think maybe we can start with the beginning. How do we start? Just the pitch of the map. So
Mm-hmm.
usually I would get in the room. We get locked with Jeff, who is our level design director. We get locked with some weapons, and then the one that survives wins the pitch. For
Okay.
on our way. No, it went pretty smoothly. In fact, what we need to do in that session is just define the location, what we want to inject. So it's what is the theme, what is the flavor visually, what is this location, what is the structure, the layout we want to test out, gameplay ingredients, what makes this map different from the otherwise, what makes it unique, because it needs to tie in with the other maps we're producing, because we really try to have really strong identities, so the players, when they play one map or another, they feel the difference. So and at the end we have a pitch, so we have to see it as a work frame. Then we validate, we have different process of validation, and then we start sketching concept arts with our concept artist, and we start producing the map. We have level design that start working on the gameplay, level design prototypes, same for the artist. We try to get the space and the volumes right, and the other guys can jump in, like the modelers, level art can get more details on it, lighters, FX, sounds. It's a big team working around one map. So, and from A to Z, the map production is real alive. We bounce a lot with the LD team. So maybe we can talk about how we process.
Yeah, well, level design and level art are two of the major components to building a 3D world, right? In 3D, there's nothing tangible. You start with just a void space. So one of the first things that art works on are what are the volumes, what are the feelings of the area? Meanwhile, level design sits and goes, what would be a fun area to play in? And one of the things that we really tried to do on our production floor was bounce off one another and really push ourselves to find the best of both worlds. Typically, in game design and in level design, building a world, you drive the 3D building of the world, and then you dress the world to a feeling. We tried to take a different approach of what would the volumes and feeling be of this space as we're designing it, to really have a succinct feeling of not just this is a real world, but it's also somewhere badass to fight. You know, and it was a combination of the two. But like Christian said, we also, lighting, effects, what we can do within the world, realization. What are other stories you can tell to get that feeling of a battle? It's very much about you want to be on the battlefield. You want to see the footsteps of the soldiers that have come before you. You want to see the damage of the heavy artillery. You want to know where you can make a difference. So, the back and forth of those are really important for us. And we do a lot of play testing on the floor. Level art comes in with level design almost every day on the floor. We play, we iterate, we do a lot of testing with telemetry. Every Friday the team plays for an hour. The whole floor plays, and what we do is we use data that we can extract from those tests to be like, most of the battles happened here. What's interesting there? Why did it happen there? How can we spread it out?
Of where the
strategy is really important.
Yeah,
especially in our objective-based game modes, and then art works on making those more interesting elements.
I'm just going to play while you guys talk so we can actually look at some maps.
And when
we're going to show some videos.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But I'll just get something going.
Just jumping on something that Jeff is saying, that when we start a map, it's very alive because we receive DNA data, we have play sessions, so the map evolves, because sometimes we have a concept, an idea of an area that works well, we think it's going to work well, and then we realize that, gameplay-wise, it's not good, and so we that's why the relationship between LD and our department is super important, because we need to work really on the same direction, and it went pretty much smoothly, so it was amazing. Amazing work from the team.
And we want to, like you said, we want to give you a big shout outs to you guys, because we had a lot of praise from the community about both level design and art. So big shout out to your teams. I think you've done an amazing work.
The whole team, LD art team, has done an amazing work, and without mentioning the sound also, FX guys. It's we're pretty happy. I think the team can look back and be very proud of what they have accomplished.
Yeah.
So we have 3 new maps in the game. We could. I know you just loaded
That's fine. I'm just doing this so Andrew has something.
We could start with the first one, guys, and feel free to describe what we're seeing. So Andrew, when you're ready. We're gonna have a flyover video coming soon.
Okay.
Death is always a good transition.
That's true. So
Round 2.
So this is the canyon map.
Yeah, that's the Canyon Forest map. The Westland maps have a really different structure compared to the sanctuaries, and these ones were very tricky because this is a place where it's very organic, and in the Westlands we're trying to tease on the golden age that is no more, but the nature has regained its right. So, and it kind of creates more challenge, because one thing we really need to keep in mind when we work on those maps is readability. Giving ways to the player to really know where they are, wherever they are, and this is more tricky on that type of map. So that was one of the challenges we had with the LD and art.
Yeah, typically, you know, in modern day, both in the Sanctuary and the Wasteland map, so those are the two kind of variations of the maps, and gameplay can vary based off of the type of map you're playing in. But overall, with our maps and with the kind of epoch that our game takes place in, that general, you know, knowledge of what the areas were and that shared vocabulary isn't always there. So that was one of the key things when we were developing the maps, where, okay, if I'm in a space, what can I use to collaborate with my friends? We don't have fire hydrants. We don't have dumpsters. What are the common words that we can use? So right away, okay, he's in trouble at the totem. Totem, there it is, go. You know, working a lot on color, the definition of the areas, but also how did they work in a gameplay sense? That was really critical to us.
Like you said, it's important to have like important icons in a map. Like, okay, let's join all at the totem, like you said. Very important to have these iconic pieces.
And you cannot rely only on those landmarks. Can be also the lighting, the way we use the lighting, but as we have the map variation, the mood changes drastically from one map to another, so we need like few different ingredients that the player will perceive and use as callouts. So it was pretty challenging, I have to say.
So let's look at another one.
Yeah.
Andrew, when you're ready. We're now in the Knights territory. This is the Cathedral.
This is one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, beautiful
especially
one.
in this mood.
Yeah,
it's I really love it.
So the three regions in general are owned by factions, and each region has a really strong sense and feel about it. So this is Amaya. This is home to the Samurai faction, even though this is what you would consider a knight map when you look at kind of the architecture of it and the feeling of it. But we managed to do some really cool tricks in this map in terms of gameplay spaces with the geysers that are interactive. They'll come on intermittently and are immediate deaths, so you can use them as a navigation threat, but also as a gameplay challenge. If you can go someone back towards it, you know, and guard break and throw them in, it gives you a lot of opportunity.
That's right.
Again, it was a beautiful one, and we saw variations in the map. We saw different. We saw snow, we saw daylight, nighttime, rain, stuff like that. What can you tell about this?
So it is really to the metagame, which is a really cool part of the game, and the challenge was we needed to have different nodes, a lot of nodes, like 60 nodes, 60 locations in the world map, and we have 12 multiplayer maps. So we were like, okay,
speaking of snow.
Yeah, Valkenheim region. So how do we create variations that are interesting for the player, that are real value, but that are sustainable in production? So what we did is that we have the 3 regions. Every of the 12 maps we're gonna be found on each region more than once, most of the time. So what we did is we modified all the textures. All the grass vegetation is different according to each region. Same for the trees. All the vistas are different according to each location. The weather is changing and lighting is changing as well, ethics and sounds. So for us it was something we come up with that I think it's a real value because you play so many times the same map, and it really changes the perception, I think, of when you play the same map, when you go from Ashfeld, very sunny, to a snowstorm in Valkenheim, where the visibility is super reduced. So I think I'm really interested to see how the players feel it.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
It was key to our production, and it was a big challenge for our production in general, but we felt that the return on the investment was huge. You know, it ties into what Damien was saying and what Christian mentioned about the metagame. Based off of where your fronts are, we still in that region want to be able to play this map, you know? So it was a big challenge for us to pull it all together, but it's really in the subtleties. If you look at the textures change, but we still give you a clue as to where the key gameplay areas are, the vegetation changing, the lighting. It's very much a first for us as a team, and I think it's a big step in the progression of having a similar gameplay space, but really trying to differentiate it and provide variation within it. So
yeah, we really want to give kudos to the art team because we had constraints. We couldn't change the line of sights. The collisions should remain the same. So and all those constraints were pretty challenging, but we were striving to really give a different flavor each time you go from one location to another.
Can I ask, was it harder to design a map for a specific mode? Like, was a dual map easier than a Dominion map, or vice versa?
Yeah, I guess it's very different, right?
Well, so the nature of the maps, we mentioned it before, there's sanctuaries and wastelands. Sanctuaries, one of the keys to them are they're based around our objective base game mode, which is Dominion, right? And so in Dominion, it's critical because it's objective based that balancing is key to it. You want to make sure that no team has an advantage over the other, but both teams have challenges, and that the gameplay is interesting, that it promotes communication, collaboration, cool fight areas. Wastelands, on the other hand, like the Cathedral, there's no objective base, so you've got a lot more variation and capability with it. But it also presents its challenges. And, you know, Christian's the art director. We had Jeff Elnor, who was a level design director, and they worked really closely together. And I was a third element in that as a production manager. And where it got interesting was, on my standpoint, I had to vouch to the production team, why should these maps be in our games? Mm-hmm. And we had so much variation at a certain point in the Wastelands. It's like, well, what is the best gameplay? So, you know, from certain production standpoints, Wastelands presented a challenge. But at the same time, with the Sanctuary maps, you've got to be careful because there's so many metrics that we need to balance. You don't want to just replicate the same map 6 times. So each had their own. One was the challenge is how do you get variation and keep it fair? The other one is where are we going with this? What you know, how can we stay consistent while still providing variation? You know, you didn't want to load into a map and be completely lost, but we wanted it to feel different and play different. So the balance of those was challenging but fun, you know. And I think that's one of the reasons I love games, is just the pace of what we work, at which we work, and we're always trying to push our boundaries like we have here in several aspects.
All right.
And Christian did a lot of great work with Jeff, as you guys will see in these maps. And we've got 6 available right now in the beta, right? And with the 3 variations each, but there's more to come. So, you know, play them, learn them, and figure out how you're going to conquer them.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And breaking news, guys. Apparently we're
globally first on Twitch.
And I'm sweating.
It's very hot.
Yeah.
Now you know what it's like to be me. I'm always sweating.
That's because of you guys. That's because of you at home too. So thanks for watching, guys. It's amazing.
Thanks for streaming. All the guys who are streaming now. It's
Oh yeah. So let's move on to the last but not least map. New map of this closed beta.
That one was
Forest.
a challenging one, the forest. Because as you see, it's covered with a lot of vegetation. So for the callouts, it was a tricky one, but we really enjoyed that because since the beginning of the project, we're trying to bring the vegetation also in a strong way in this type of game, you know. Mm-hmm. And this one really, I think, has a special flavor to it, which I really love. So here it's a samurai map. And this is a Nashveld flavor, lighting mood. Pretty dry area. Now we see it in Valkenheim.
Yeah, it's a beautiful map.
In an environment such as this, color plays an important role. It's a very busy environment with the amount of foliage that we have, with the multi-pathing, you know, the textures on the ground. So the art team worked a lot with level design on defining what are the areas, what makes them unique while staying consistent within the feel of the map. Mm-hmm. The forest is definitely a tough one. It's one of my favorites to play, and we have some really cool pathing options and really cool gameplay areas. And just visually
reminds me about, you know, old samurai movies or even Kill Bill or movies like that. Do you guys get inspiration from movies
like that?
From movies, I think the collective unconscious is really a great area where we try to get some ideas because people are expecting things, you know, when we talk about the 3 great factions we have. So we're picking things there, but we start to twist them, you know, in a specific way with some rules.
Put
but
some
yes,
For Honor spice on the maps.
exactly. But
Look
you
for
were
that
talking.
soon at your local grocery store for Honor Spice.
So yes, the Kill Bill was a great movie, but it's related to something we tried to bring in the game very early on. It's the modernity, also something that is kind of different. So in different ways, but Kill Bill was one of our references.
But the maps in general, when you look at them, say for Forest, 99% of people, if you ask what's the feeling from this map right away, they would either go with Samurai or Japanese. You know, similar with the Cathedral map, you know, just based off of the architecture and the use of the materials. If we're seeing a stream here, this is Riverford. This is one of the Viking maps. Right away, you see that they've taken nature and they've worked with it, but just to the bare minimum to meet their needs. On the flip side, you know, the Knights really work on how can we conquer this material. It's polished stone, it's mass, you know, mass architecture, strong.
Way more heavy.
Yeah, exactly. And then on the Samurai side, it's, you know, it's more mastery of the arts. You look, there's ornate work, there's very fine details throughout the map, the color palette that Christian worked on for a long time for all of the factions.
And each of the faction we needed to define, okay, what are their architecture, what is the style we want to bring in, and comparing the sanctuaries, which is really heavy. We have those heavy sanctuaries that are like titans, handmade, you know. We wanted to bring in the other side wasteland maps that are a bit more organic. And we needed to, we wanted to have like a complementary area, different type of maps, because sanctuaries have also a lot of, they're specific. You know?
Yeah.
I have a question. Actually, Solemn Knight SA has a question. Sorry, we've been holding off on getting to this because we've been having such a good discussion. Does positioning matter on the maps? Are there any attack and defensive bonuses based on height or environment?
Positioning definitely matters. One of the keys to the fighting system in general is the guard break and the ability to manipulate the positioning of a player. So you better watch out if you're close to an edge or close to water, per se. Our heroes don't swim well, or at all, for that matter. So you've got to watch out for height, water. So your positioning, your environmental awareness is key, but also height. If you're up here and your enemy's down below, knock him down. Come on, you can do it, Bo. Get him, drop it. Now this is a drop it pack. That is a single hit kill. The drop it pack
nice death
obviously
from above,
means that you want to be on the high ground and take advantage. So as much as possible, we try to work with positioning. Obviously, in the objective-based game mode, you'll take more points based off your playstyle and the type of playstyle you choose and what you're doing in those modes. But also in Wasteland maps, there's definitely strategic areas that if you can hold it, you'll fare better in terms of defense and offense. We had a lot of feedback on outnumbered fights. And we've worked on the fight system to address that, but also within the worlds. There are spots in the environment where you can back in and you know 3 of your sides are controlled. So you can only be attacked from one mode. So if you go into a hallway, that takes away the left and right attack of your enemy, and they can only come one at a time. So you can really use the environment to manipulate the fight situation that you're in and make sure that you're able to stay alive, call for support, you know, hold on to that capture zone so they don't push you into breaking. There's many ways to approach it. So yes is the short answer. Yes.
And to tie it back to our previous segment about the faction war, the question is, if a faction controls a territory, do the cosmetics on the map change? I think Karamak might have spoken to that.
Oh, wait, it's the faction props. Whatever faction has conquered a location, we're changing many props in there just to reflect who's owning the place, you know. So you can get into this kind of situation where you have a knight castle, where you have old samurai banners. You're gonna have different props on the ground. We're trying to bring different things that the player can really see and perceive, so we get the feeling that, okay, I'm attacking these guys, you know, they're owning this place and I want it back.
Yeah, the faction war permeates into the map, and you really get a feeling when you're there, and that was a key component to it. We worked a long time on that, and once again, it presented a lot of production challenges, but in the end, you know, the payoff is huge for us, and so we're excited that we got it in.
And for example, if you're not watching the gameplay right now, but I chose Brawl on the Faction War, which was the front between the Vikings and the Knights. So that means the map I'm given should be one of those two factions.
Yeah. So Right Away Force is a samurai map. I didn't get to see what front you're on. What was it? Samurai Knight. So it could be either Meyer or Ashfeld. So this is the Ashfeld variation.
Yeah,
so here you can see the bright sunshine, the change in the foliage. We go from broad leaves to more, finer pines. Yeah.
Green leaves and
Running away.
beautiful.
I decided
careful with the Conqueror.
I decided to jump into a PvP match, so if anyone is happen to be watching the stream while they play the beta,
Be nice.
you're on Twitch now.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming. Thank you very much. That was a great discussion. We'll invite you again.
Yeah, you can.
Are you sure about that?
I suppose you can come back. Yeah, I suppose so.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks,
Cheers,
guys.
man.
And in a minute, we have a surprise guest for you guys. Hey, Mr. Pope. So I heard that we did a closed alpha recently, right?
It's true, and it was the largest alpha in Ubisoft history. So thank you to everybody who participated. You made it awesome. And it was extra special because you were allowed to stream, post on YouTube, talk about it everywhere you wanted, and people did.
So we decided to gather all of the clips that you sent us, funny moments, glorious moments, high-level gameplay, cool creations, and put it together in a video for you to enjoy.
Yeah, and if you have clips that you want to share with us, please do so on Twitter @ForHonorGame. We want to see them and share them to the wider community.
Oh, I've never done that before. That was so sick.
Help! Yes! Yes!
Nope. Oh shit, he just knocked me down. Dude, I am shadow playing that.
I send you to a duel, good sir. On guard. Excuse me, good sir. I did not give you leave to run away. Good sir, I send you to a duel. Good sir, this is an unfair duel. I'm being double teamed. Quickly, sir, we flee. Good day. Ah. Oh, good sir, please. This is not fair play.
All right, it's going down. It's going down now, Dave Reaver. Let's fucking play. What did you just do? Why did you do what you did? Do. How did he do what he did? Oh God. Okay. We're having a problem here. It's pretty tight. It's pretty tight so far. If I just go. Oh no. He fucked me up.
Oh my.
Yo, that was sick. Oh shit, he knocked me off!
We're back, and we just saw our best alpha moments from the last close alpha.
Yeah,
basically.
super fun.
Super fun, really good. So now it's up to you guys. We want to see your best moments, your most glorious moments,
funny moments,
best duels, best moves. Send it our way. Twitter is the best way to send your videos, and we want to make more of these compilation videos.
Yeah, you might be featured on a future live stream, on a video just like that one. But we love to see that stuff. It's super fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's your chance to be famous, right?
It's true.
Absolutely. So now, with us, the man, the legend,
Apollyon. Apollyon. She's with us today. Great.
Yeah, nice. Stéphane Cardin, producer on For Honor. How is it going today, Stéphane? It's the beginning of our biggest live phase so far.
Yes.
How is the mood on the floor? How are
But
you?
the mood is amazing because for us, a closed beta like that, it's our last chance to make some tests, some tweak, to make sure that we are ready for the launch of the game. It's only 19 days. Yeah, after 4 years and a half working on this game, this team has the chance to release finally their game, and we're so excited to see the community already jump in. I saw it just a few minutes ago that we were #1 on Twitch. That is amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
People are just crazy right now on the floor, and for me, it's a real opportunity to test the team. It's not. I saw on the forum, we had some problem with connection and things like that. It's okay. It's normal. I'm super happy that we have some adversity because that's where we need to learn what we don't know that we didn't know. So now we know it. We can fix it. We can make sure that when it's going to be time for the open beta and the launch of the game, we will be ready.
And on your hand, personally, what are you looking for the most during this closed beta?
But of course, we fought so hard to keep the faction war alive, right? It's always a design that many developers try to achieve, and it's an easy cut, right? At some point, it's an easy cut because you need to anchor that on so many systems in the game. Usually, you need a complete game. There's many online games that just bring a metagame 1 year, 2 years after the release. Why? Because it's tough to update the game, making sure that the metagame is still working. But I'm super happy and excited to put it live during that beta phase.
Cross-platform is crazy.
Yeah.
It's sort of like one of the holy grails.
But for me, it was the only solution we had, because how can you explain the fact that there's different winners on the different wars depending of the platform? For me, if it was not possible to do it cross-platform, I think we will have cut it at some point during the development. Because for me, it's not just a metagame to give and pack to your matches. For me, it's not that. It's because we give you with the game at the launch a single player to explain you the past. But day one, you guys are writing the future of this story. So it's and we want you to nourish that world, decide who's going to be up front, depending of Knight, Viking, Samurai, who's going to win the different front, and see the evolution of the war. And us as developer, we will have fun with that data. We'll play with you guys. We will try to adapt some content. So a lot of fun is coming with the faction war.
So for me, personally, as a player, I like a system like that because all of my single actions can have an impact on something bigger. And that's what I like. And from a community development perspective,
that's the biggest for me.
I mean, for us, I mean, it's
given that tool.
Giving that tool, and especially since it's cross-platform, because we love them all. We love Xbox One, PS4, and PC for sure. But now to have a place where all of our warriors are united. Whatever platform they use, whatever countries they are located, for us it's gold. It's amazing to have this big community, because you always said that, and maybe that's my next question. You always said that your first community was the team. Yes. So how do you feel? Where is this community at the moment?
Right now, they are on Twitch. So maybe that's why the numbers are so high, because we're so excited. Because like I said, it's our last test, 19 days before the launch of the game. We're pumped. We believe we are ready, but we knew that we had some flaws that will appear. And right now, the team is just looking at the forums, looking everywhere, receiving feedback. And we are like firefighters right now. Every time we see something, boom, we're jumping on it. A lot of fun right now. It's so exciting for everybody.
And after those 4 years and a half, you said, I know that the game is not launched yet. We will probably do other interviews like that. But what are you the most proud of so far? This is a big question, I know.
Yeah, this is a big question, but I believe that, creating a new IP, it's a different adventure. Right? You can, it's not something that happens that often now in the industry, and there's big pressure, especially in the AAA, right? The indie scene give you more opportunity to explore, but on AAA market, there's so many people that has something to say, and there's so many opportunities to change your path and become something else. And I was working with Luke, our brand director, recently, and we were looking at very, very old presentation. And this main statement we had of our dream of creating something with the controller with a new feeling that will translate the emotion, the adrenaline of being on the battlefield among other warriors.
That's true.
And I believe today what we have in the game, the game that people playing the beta are experimenting, it's true to that. We never let anybody change our fate. And to me, that's probably something that I'm the most proud of, because we needed grit, we needed passion, we needed a lot of determination to prove that we were right.
So you really had to stick to your guns, right? Because there's a long development
and so many people, and it's a new genre. Every event we went, people are like, oh, okay, I thought that it was like that, but it's completely different. Because, and I believe in many successful new IP that I saw, it started from that, right? It starts with the personality you have with the controller, with our motion matching animation, with the new way of controlling the weapon, feeling the weight of your hit, the feeling of being on the battlefield against many other fighters. It's something unique, and we have a unique personality on the controller, and that's for me one of the key things about For Honor.
Absolutely.
That's great. Stefan, do you have one last word for our community before we move on to some serious action on the battlefield?
You already want to kick me out, right? You already want to kick me out.
You're free to stay whenever you want.
But to me, it's something a lot of people are asking me, yeah, but it's the beta right now. It's late in the process. Why giving you feedback? Guys, use all the opportunity you have to provide us feedback, because for me, in 19 days, this is not the end of the project. We're not going anywhere. We have a full team ready to continue make this team grow. It's not a one night that we're trying to establish with you. I would say that we work hard because we interact with each other for 2 years now, so you're not an easy one.
It's a long-term relationship.
Exactly, but to me, starting on Valentine's Day, if we want to continue with love, we want to continue that dialogue, because every week, every month, we will work closely with you to improve the game. Same thing with the faction war, the different characters, the different maps, but we need to hear you. I see a lot of people on Twitch, the forum are just on fire. Please continue. We need your feedback to continue to make this game greater and greater and greater.
We need you. We need your fire, guys.
Yeah.
We need your fire.
Yeah, it's not just a treat for the players to get a taste of what it's going to be like at launch. It's for the team too, right? Like, this is a taste for us what it will be like at launch, because, like you said, this is going to be a live game.
Totally,
like,
and
we're not putting it out and just taking a walk in a field. We're gonna keep working on the game with everybody based on their feedback. So, beta, I feel like, is a good test for us as well as for the community, which is cool.
Yeah, and a lot of people think because it's a AAA title, it's tough to get in reach with the developers. No, believe me, we're watching everything. We receive a lot of the comments, the feedback. We're connected with what you guys are doing in the game. So please be vocal, please participate, continue giving us all those amazing ideas, and we'll try to play with it and see what makes sense regarding the resources we have, the production constraint. But guys, continue to have fun with the brand, because you make our job so much easier and a lot more fun.
And Steph sits right next to us. So when we're always, like I told you earlier, we're always reading everything. We can easily just be like, hey guy who runs the entire project, people are complaining about this thing. What do you think? So it's a pretty sweet situation. So keep your feedback coming, and we'll just funnel it right into Steph's desk.
They are painful.
Thank you very much again, Stefan.
Thank you guys. Have fun.
Again. And,
Let's see you guys on the battlefield this weekend. Super Brand 666. I'm ready for you.
So you guys, you give us feedback, we give you codes.
Yes.
And now that's the moment you've been expecting.
Just a technical correction because people have yelled at me about this. They're keys, not codes.
Oh, sorry, Eric. Yeah, they're
keys,
keys,
not codes. That's better.
We give you
keys
keys.
are better than codes.
I got the keys. So we have our community managers on the chat. When they're ready, you will have to type raffle !
Just the word raffle?
Just the word raffle.
And an exclamation mark or no exclamation mark?
With an exclamation mark.
Okay. If that's wrong, Fred, you correct us in the chat.
Don't trust us, yeah. Trust Fred or James on the chat. They know everything about these raffles. Because we know that starting from now, the chat will be flooded with raffles.
Yep.
So,
I can see it from over there.
Oh yeah, it already have started.
Mike's computer blew up.
So now, for the last segment, we will invite our teammates back for a revenge match after this short video.
Blow it out.
We're back, guys, for this revenge match.
Yeah, we're still getting set up with our 4v4 with all of our devs here. We're actually missing a dev for some reason. Maybe I'll go back and play. Should I go play?
Yes.
Yeah?
Where do you want to go, Eric?
I'll go play. I'll go play. Do it live.
You can grab a weapon.
There's no good way to get back there. I'll take the long way so I don't break.
That's okay. That's okay.
That means, Roman, that means I can't fight you with my Peacekeeper. We're going to have to be on the same team.
Yeah, you can switch team with somebody else actually if you want.
No, it's fine.
So
If
while
that
the
makes you
guys,
happy, maybe you're scared then.
It's
while the guys are setting up, guys, don't miss our next streams because tomorrow at the exact same time, I would say the exact planned same time at 1 p.m. Me and Mr. Poem here are going to play the Knights, and Saturday and Sunday, James and FredX919, pardon me, and Big Ideal will be playing the Vikings and the Samurai on Saturday and on Sunday. We have codes for you during all of those streams. All you have to do is to subscribe on our Twitch channel for Honor Game, and yeah, that's it. Make sure to tune in.
Maybe we have some questions when we do the setup. I don't know.
Absolutely. Some people are asking.
Can you switch faction, Damien?
Skriller.
Damien, can you also send me an invite while you answer that?
I'm not sure.
I'm number 4.
And answer the question.
So can you switch faction? Yes, of course you can, but there are some consequences.
Oh yeah?
So depending when you do it, if you do it at the beginning of the season, that's fine. You will still get all the rewards, but the later you do it, the more you won't get rewards. So for example, let's say you wait 2 rounds, so 4 weeks within the season to switch faction, then this means that you won't win the current round reward and you won't win the current season reward. We do that obviously to not have everybody switch at the last time their faction for the winning factions, because that would be way too easy.
Good call. We have another one.
Are
Yeah,
there
Herr
any
Schneider.
statistics about which
6 and 2,
factions
Damien.
are
6 and
preferred by players? Statistics and factions.
6 is offline.
Currently, there's a slight edge for the Samurai. There's like almost 40% of Samurai, and the 2 other factions are pretty balanced with around 30% players.
Okay.
So it's pretty balanced.
We have another question from the same user, Hersh Schneider, who's asking, and that's going to be a pretty easy one for you guys.
Yes.
What is steel used for?
Nothing. It's really useless.
It's useless.
No,
Pack it up, guys. Game's over.
Steel is the in-game currency basically. So you gain steel by winning or losing matches, by completing matches. You gain steel by completing orders. That's your main income of steel. And then you use steel for everything. So you use steel to get more gear. You can use steel to unlock some customization things. You can use your steel for
unlock heroes.
Heroes, to recruit heroes. So you can play with heroes that are not recruited, which is something that not everybody understands right away. So you can play with all the heroes from the get-go. There is no limitation on which hero you can play, but recruiting a hero will allow you to customize that hero.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So you can also recruit a hero with steel. You can get a champion status which is an XP booster and loot booster that you can get against steel. So everything in the game is against steel.
Oh, great!
We need one more insight.
Basically, every unlockable that you can unlock in the game, and we say everything can be unlocked by playing and grindable, that's through steel.
Exactly.
All right, so that's the in-game currency. You can do a lot of stuff.
6. We can get this thing going.
He's not online for me.
Oh, he's gone offline.
Can we still launch the game, guys?
Is it after release still possible to play with a hero of a different faction than the chosen one? And question about organized. Yes, actually, we didn't want it to gate hero selection per faction. It's because you made a choice at the beginning of the game, you're limited to a third of the content. And yeah, you're really a Viking and you want to fight for Viking, but damn, the Peacekeeper looks cool and you can't use there. So you can use any character depending whatever the faction you choose.
I'm back.
Yes, like Eric, you can be a samurai and love the Peacekeeper. It's possible.
Yeah, this is a Peacekeeper.
We want basically the idea was everybody has to choose a faction because we want the faction war to be central in the game experience, and we wanted that experience to be inclusive.
Right.
So we didn't want it to lock you in terms of gameplay. We wanted that to be cool, not shit, I chose that faction so I can.
Interesting. So guys, are we ready to go with this revenge match?
Yep, totally ready.
It's all yours.
Put level 2 bot, please. Because we are still missing a player.
Yep.
Somebody was too afraid to play with us.
Let's have the Peacekeeper as a bot, level 2.
That makes sense.
Good. Shoot.
All right, guys, don't forget there's still a raffle going on the Twitch chat.
I can still see them blowing up the chat with the word raffle from across the room.
I'm always playing the Kinsey.
We're on the same team, Damien.
Since the beginning.
We're on the same team?
Right.
Oh yeah. This way you can't trash talk me.
I can if you die.
It was a strategic decision on Damien's part.
Yeah. So we're playing in one of the map variation of Citadel Gate.
Oh, great.
So we're playing the Meyer version of Citadel Gate. It's foggy. It's pretty different.
Oh yeah.
Version
Gray sky. All right. Good luck, everybody. And it has started.
So the orange team
going on
A to C. So both our captains are now on the same team, which is different.
You lost Zone A.
Damien is the Kensei.
Yeah, as usual.
Roman is the Nobushi.
I'm capturing A.
Need help in the lane.
Roman currently being triple teamed. Tool God killed you.
Would you say, Roman, that the Nobushi is a great character for the front, for the middle lane?
She's a great character of all, but you can't make any mistake with her.
So it was a bit risky for you to go.
No, because she's good in the middle. Because she has a lot of range, so she can destroy minions really fast. And also, because of her range and her zone attacks, she's actually good in a one versus many situation, but you can't make a mistake.
That's why I like the Raider a lot, is I spend a lot of time in the middle lane with the Raider just
He's really good at the middle lane. Yeah.
I'm with you, Mike.
So Roman is fighting his nemesis, the Peacekeeper, right here. Seeing if he comes out on top. I don't know if it's going to happen. Don't know if it's going to happen for him. Oh.
Nice.
It's pretty good face-off. From afar, someone added an arrow storm.
Right. I'm with you.
Spread it around here.
Yes!
Oh, he did it! Oh, that execution's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
B is good.
So the orange team is leading.
So you see that
at 600 points.
Yeah, currently the orange team is dominating.
Yeah. In control of most of the zones. Zone A is actually contested.
Character incoming at C.
Don't forget that you can revive your teammates, guys. Very important.
I'm dead in A.
Oh.
2 Nobushis.
Whoa.
Bye-bye.
Poor Orochi.
That deserves an emote.
What is it you always say, Roman, about honor? The honor is in winning, not in how you play.
Exactly.
Classic villain. I like it.
Is anybody on A? Okay, I'm coming in A.
So Blue Team's starting to turn it around, actually.
Yeah,
they were just
yeah,
getting dominated, but they're only down by about 100, current 150 currently.
And they need more hard points, I would say. They need to keep control of certain zones and kill more opponents.
The hard points is actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because that's a thing that I think not enough people understand.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at the 2 bars, the blinking part is what you switch between either bar.
Yeah, blinking part is what you get for controlling a point, but if you lose control of that point,
it goes
you
away.
lose.
Like Blue just did as you said that.
But the thick line, like the thick blue line or the big thick orange line will never lose those points.
Exactly. That's the score that you earn by killing people
or holding a point,
or
right?
controlling a point for a certain period of time. It takes score all the time. So basically, it's scores that you can't lose.
So if you just stay in a point that you've captured, you'll get points.
As you can see here, the B is sticking 1.
Yep. And then the more people you have in a control point, the more hard points you get.
No, it's just linked to just one person.
Well, I've been misinformed.
Yes.
Thank you for correcting.
I'm dead. Man, you can play.
2 on 1 here. He's got his revenge. Nice.
Oh. Nice.
He might pull this out. Nope. Hit with your own teammate's bomb.
Okay.
There you go. So the orange team has blue and breaking. Oh, not anymore.
Oh.
Blue pulled it out.
To back middle.
Okay, there is. I'm going back on the front line.
Yeah, there's someone. Because there is one here. God damn it.
Archers!
I'm 2 against 1 now.
Nice.
Oh god, that's hard.
Slowly creeping up on him. Oh!
Oh,
The Conqueror is usually good at fighting against multiple opponents.
Yes, but you need to be good with the Conqueror.
Oh yeah.
you need help anywhere.
Okay.
They're going to see? Yeah, me too. Go. Let's go. To the lane.
Now 3 on the
Get my
lane.
arrow ready as well. Okay. Careful, 1 Orochi.
3 on the lane. Can you revive me, Roman?
Indeed I can.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Well done. Does reviving give you points?
It seems like it gives you a good amount of points. Yeah? The revive?
Yeah. What? Catapults. They're deadly.
So blue team's breaking now. So orange team just has to kill their 4 guys to win this.
Where are the that's C? That's C and B.
I'm playing with you, Roman.
It's good.
C is contested at the moment. Shouldn't be easy.
Okay, waiting in A.
Oh, there's a Conqueror there.
This might be the beginning of the end here. Oh, bit of revenge. Oh,
yeah.
Amazing. Always so satisfying when you knock someone off the edge.
Oh yeah, it's so rewarding.
Ramon's Revenge sounds like an 80s Nintendo game, like an off-market Nintendo game.
Yeah.
Nice. I like it.
Could also be a movie starring Sylvester Stallone.
Yes, early career Sylvester Stallone. Ramon. So there's 2. Oh, looks like they just revived one of their guys. Ramon is distracted killing the soldiers here instead of helping his team win.
Brother.
2 blue guys left.
Where? B, A, C.
They're hiding.
There is in the middle. Arrow is ready.
Carmack's gonna try to snipe him with his arrow.
Okay, that's A.
On A, there is one coming.
Oh, but they revived one of them. They're back to 3 guys. Oh, now another one's down.
Okay, you're all in.
Down to 2.
Awesome.
1 left.
Oh, it's there. I see him. Where is he? I see him.
1 blue guy left.
Where is he?
Leap of faith!
Carmack jumped off a tower to kill him and totally missed. But at least you yelled leap of faith as you did it.
Yeah. Don't take the ladder, right? No?
No, he put fire on top of the ladder.
Right. Oh, that's bad. Okay, let's do it.
There was no haystack waiting for him.
That's true. He died.
No, where is he? Scooting. Yeah, he's going to A. He's going to A.
Whoever the last one alive is. Oh, it's Pascal.
And now that's interesting because he will probably
Yeah, he's
go in
gonna
a
revive.
He's hiding.
Yeah.
They're gonna do their last stand
he
on
missed,
A.
He missed the revive. He died just as he was about to revive him.
Oh.
We got 2 up.
He's on the way out of it.
They're in the middle platform. Broken platform in the middle of the map. Yes.
One left.
Oh.
1 left, and it's the bot.
Yes. 1 left. Where's the other one?
It's the bot.
There's 30
Staying with
seconds
us.
Oh, attack while reviving.
What was that?
That's so vicious.
He's in A. The timer will solve that out.
We've got 10 seconds to kill it.
It's crazy, but
8 seconds. 7, 6. Oh, amazing! Well done.
Well done. Thanks, guys. Good game, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a really good game.
Thanks for watching at home again. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for playing. We want to give a big shout out to Andrew on the boards.
Thanks, Andrew.
Fred and CMs on the chat.
Thanks to the CMs in the chat.
We have Max behind camera 2.
Max.
And also, I want to give a big shout out to Michael right behind me here.
Yes.
Yeah, who
He
was
helps us a
also
lot
working.
organizing these, yeah.
Oh yeah. Thank you very much for playing. Thanks to our guests. It was good to see you. It was good to be seen. And see you tomorrow.
You can see us tomorrow, same earlier because we'll be on time tomorrow. 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, right here on twitch.tv/ForHonorGame.
Oh yeah. And you can stay tuned to our channel right now because there's some good action coming up from For Honor streamers.
Yep.
So
enjoy your keys.
Absolutely. See you soon.
Bye.